This whole topic of resurrection is something that the Bible deals very clearly with. And we looked last time in the book of 1 Thessalonians, and in chapter 4, verses 16 and 17, we saw clearly that we will be caught up with Jesus in the clouds. That is, if you have Jesus in your heart and you're a follower, a believer in Jesus Christ. Those that are left behind will go through a time of great trial and tribulation. But that's not just the end. Let's have a look this week at what the Bible says. And we're going to look in Matthew chapter 16, verses 2 through to verse 4. Jesus replied, "When evening comes, you say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, today, it will be stormy, for the sky is red and overcast. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation looks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the sign of Jonah." Jesus then left them and went away. What's this? None will be given them except the sign of Jonah. Jonah rebelled against God and wouldn't do as he was told. He tried to run away from God's plan for his life and sailed away in a ship to another land. On that ship there was a storm, and the sailors knew that the reason for their hardship, their storm, was because Jonah was on board. So they elected to throw Jonah overboard. And when he was thrown into the sea, he was swallowed up by a big fish, a whale, and he spent 3 days inside the belly of the fish. And then on the third day, the fish vomited Jonah back out onto land. And on that land, he was back where he started, and he knew that he had to do what God had given him to do. When Jesus talks about the miraculous signs that this wicked generation look for, he said, "None will be given to you except the sign of Jonah." He was speaking about his own life. He was speaking about coming to do a job. And the people that he was among, it caused storms. They didn't want him, so they cast him into death. It wasn't Jonah, but Jesus that they decided to crucify, decided to throw overboard, decided to kill. This story of Jonah is a true story, but it's symbolic of the life of Jesus. And the people that Jesus was among rejected him. They crucified him. They then put him into a grave, into the belly of the earth. But on the third day, the earth vomited Jesus back out, if you like. But it was the power of the resurrection that rose Jesus from the dead. And those who believe in Jesus will, like Jesus, be raised from the dead. And we need to get ready for that. God is speaking to everybody in the world, not just Christians. He's using secular media. He's using Christian media. He's using any manner of means, Hollywood movies, if you like. He's also using dreams. I've spoken to some people just in the past week who have told me about dreams of heaven. Will you believe what God is doing to prepare you for what happens at the end of your life? Or will you reject that and spend eternity outside of a relationship with God? That truly is death, where there is no life, there is no love, there is no grace nor mercy, there is no relationship with God, no love that comes from heaven. You'll be cut off from God forever in hell. Before you get there, the way that you will die will be determined by what happens after the rapture here on earth. A time of great tribulation, a time of unrelentless evil will come upon the earth. I believe that the church will escape that because of the love of God. You could be with the believers in heaven, or you could be left behind, trying to make sense of the madness before you spend the rest of eternity in hell. It's no laughing matter. God does have a plan, and He's speaking to you right now. This little video is just one of the ways that God is using to try to reach your heart, reach your soul and see your life secured with him forever. Please don't wait until it's too late. Become a Christian now. Have Jesus in your heart and spend eternity with him forever.